Hello everyone. Today, let us understand in detail about pulse code modulation, PCM, and multiplexing. What is pulse code modulation, PCM? PCM is defined as a digitization of an analog signal. Process involved in digitization is sampling and quantization. In sampling, the analog signal is sampled after each time interval. Most important factor in sampling is the according to Nyquist's theorem, the sampling rate must be at least 2 times of the highest frequency of the signal. Sampling gives discrete form of continuous analog signal. Every discrete pattern shows the amplitude of the analog signal at that instant. The quantization is done between the maximum amplitude value and the minimum amplitude value. Quantization is approximation of the instantaneous analog value, which is then converted into binary format. Multiplexing is a method by which multiple analog or digital signals are combined into one signal over a shared medium. There are two types of multiplexing, such as time division multiplexing, TDM, and frequency division multiplexing, FDM. We can send multiple signals over the same pair of wire using TDM, while we use FDM to send multiple signals in several distant frequency range over a single medium. Steps to be followed in audio digitization. First, take the samples of audio at predetermined time intervals, known as the sampling rate. Then, encode signals into binary code using pulse code modulation to obtain discrete signal level. In pulse modulation technique, the amplitude of an analog signal is converted to a binary value and represented as a series of pulses. The integer number has effectively been coded into zeros and ones. The zeros and 1 now contain the audio information encoded in a form that could be processed by a computer. Some important points to be noted about digitization of audio. Higher the sampling rate to represent the signal, the higher will be the quality of audio signal. Quality is retained as only codes are transmitted. Audio can be recreated to the original quality by extracting the pattern from the digital code. Some of the positive impact of digitization are no physical limit for storage, can be accessed via the internet, 24/7 availability of access, integrated online resource sharing, great saving of space, and cheaper to maintain digital library. Let's talk about the contemporary professional engineer on health and safety issues. First, pulse rank as one of the most common risks for telecom workers, where include improper training, under ladder and safety device. Therefore, companies need to ensure appropriate fall protection equipment is given. Second, electrocution is an everyday danger for telecom workers because communication towers and electrical equipment go hand in hand. Third, workers are required to climb in all sorts of weather conditions. I recommend many times in an effort to keep communication line open and the rest of us safe. Contemporary professional engineering on legal issue. First, role of intellectual property rights, where it is important to safeguard any innovations occurring in the telecom sector. Second, data security and privacy concern. With the increase in the use of network devices, there are often ease to breach of privacy and individual of organization, and the problem of protection of a huge number of data transfer and private text through these devices is a serious concern. Third, the adjust gross revenue (AGR) dispute, where the calculation included revenue from both telecom and non-telecom services. Contemporary professional engineering on culture issue. First, traditional approaches assume that top-down messaging and HR programs leads to cultural changes. Second, global cultural norms do not change very much or very fast. Third, most cultures are emotionally embedded and multi-dimensional, making them hard to pin down and even harder to change.